What? Bruh.
Welcome to a video on how to get good at the fire rose, perhaps one of an imp's greatest nightmares. Players who can master the art of spamming charge shots or simply just abuse the homing in general can piss off more enemies than Wolfie, giving people headaches every time he makes a comically simple mistake. Let's get started. The fire rose is a variant of the rose class, who's so hot in a literal sense, she could roast you better than your typical rapper. Their primary weapon is that of a burning erotic stick that has multiple charge levels depending on how long you hold down the attack button. The uncharged weapon can fire up to 300 rounds per minute and has 18 ammo per clip before needing to take a 2-second reload. Each shot fired deals a measly 5 damage with a tiny blast radius. Enemies that are hit will be set on fire, taking 4 damage every 3/4 of a second for the next 3.75 seconds. This uncharged weapon is best used either to finish off low health enemies or to just generally chip at their health, since the very low damage output of the uncharged shots makes it quite shit on direct one-on-one combat, especially if the engaged participant is of a high health class like All-Star or Z-Mech. When engaging in the act of charging up your flaming erotic stick, you will be given a 25% speed penalty, so do keep this in mind when charging in the middle of the battlefield, for you do make yourself more vulnerable. The first level of charge takes 1 second of holding down the attack button to reach, and is actually a one-of-a-kind charge-up weapon, in that it fires multiple projectiles as opposed to only a single one. When the attack button is released in this state, the 2 shots are fired at 150 rounds per minute, with the first shot consuming 2 ammo and the second only consuming 1. Each shot fired deals 15 damage in a slightly bigger radius. Because of its unique property of firing 2 shots, this charge level can allow you to spread it across multiple enemies if your hand-eye coordination and aiming is on the same level as your typical esports team. But it can also be used as a more effective way of damaging enemies at a distance, due to how much more efficient it is in terms of its ammo to damage ratio. But now we come to the maximum charge, the one that literally everyone gives a shit about when it comes to these charge up variants. This big motherfucker takes a lengthy 2.5 seconds of holding down the attack button to reach. When the attack button is released, it will fire this massive projectile towards your enemy, consuming 6 ammo, and it will bring the pain with it, dealing up to a massive 50 damage in a generous sized radius. And to think that on top of the massive damage, it still sets enemies on fire. So imps will literally be at death's door the moment you hit those bean-shaped pricks straight in the face with this fireball on crack. This maximum charge can be used to engage fights with a massive burst of damage if the enemy doesn't spot you first, allowing you to gain the upper hand. Alternatively, you can just spam this shit at imps and watch as they cower in fear at your almighty bullshit. The optimum upgrade setup for the fire rose would be the homing, fire, and health upgrades, with the homing and fire upgrades being especially important, as the homing upgrade significantly improves the amount of bullshit you can get away with, granting extra range and lock-on angles, and the fire upgrade allows you in a technical sense to one-shot imps that don't run the health upgrade, since getting a direct hit with the max charge in combination with the fire damage will deal exactly 75, perfect for killing those testicle-sized shitheads. In terms of strengths, the fire rose can easily spread her fire damage across many targets, allowing her to not only chip at many enemies at once, but to also get a rough idea on their general location thanks to the hit markers. Her max charge can also be a great way to assassinate enemies that don't see it coming, or against an imp who thinks he's hot shit. However, like every rose, she does not fare too well at point blank range, which is especially apparent with the fire rose due to her relatively low damage per clip with uncharged shots. Additionally, the charged shots do grant a speed penalty when charging them up, which can make you vulnerable, especially if a fast moving class spots you mid-charge. Thanks to this guide, you will now be the bane of an imp's existence, as you not only burned them to a literal fucking crisp, but also received tons of hate mail from them, which for any rose main is the grand prize in any lobby. Be sure to come back for the next episodes next week. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more shit like this. Have fun.